Good morning, everyone. This is Sheila and we're about to do a stretch body awareness class. So let's start with our knees bent. We're sitting on the floor, our backs are straight. We can prop ourselves up by our hands behind us, and we're going to gently just open the legs out, just to feel that inside thigh moving, and the hips. And open, and close, and open, and close, and open, and close. Let's shoot the legs out, sitting up even taller, flex out through the heels, push through the balls of the feet and point. Toes and flex, balls of the feet and point, and toes and flex. Two more, and balls of the feet and point, and toes and flex. Last time, balls of the feet, toes, toes, and flex. Rotate out through the hips, and then rotate in, feeble cross, and rotate out, and in. Two more, and out, and in, and out, and in. Let's go back to that turned out position and work with those feet. Once again, balls of the feet and point, and toes and flex. Balls of feet and point, toes and flex. Two more, and balls of the feet and point, and toes and flex. Last time, balls of the feet and point, and toes and flex. Come back into a parallel position, point the feet, draw the legs up. Now with a pointed toe, let's open out. So we're having to maintain a little more form in our legs, in our feet, as we have the feet pointing, legs go out, feeling the stretch in the inside thigh, and go out, press, keeping the back straight, lift, and out, and press, and come up, and down. Good. Let's shoot the legs out, open the left leg out. We're going to lift it up, and we're going to keep this leg straight out in front of us. We're going to flex it to anchor it, and make sure you've got the divine flesh out. So this leg is just inching out to the side. You might already feel a little stretch through there. And we're going to drop the knee down. Lift it up. And open the leg as far as you can. So you feel that inside thigh stretch. Lift, drop it down. So the hip has an opposite action than from the opening up here. And two more. Drop it down, pressing out through the heel of the right leg. And open. Good, and last time, drop it down, lift it up, and open, wide position. Good, bring that leg in, let's stretch it out, flex that one, bring this one up, inch it out. See how wide you can get it, keeping this left leg straight forward, hands behind, and we're going to drop the knee in and feel that hip rotating in, coming up, and now stretch it out. Good, and in, and lift, and out. Still pressing out through the heel of the long leg, and in. Here's the third time. Lift up, and open, good, and lift it up, drop it down, and lift it, and open, good. Bring it in, hug it, let's shoot it out, and point the foot. Reaching the arms up, let's lift, and go over into a flat back position here, with our feet pointed. So now we're feeling a little bit of work in the hamstring and maybe in the lower back. Just try and stretch it there and come upright. Let's flex the feet and repeat. Lift, going to a diagonal line as if somebody's trying to pull you through the hands there. Good. And lift, point the feet, lift, and over to that diagonal line. Shoulders are down, arms are long, backs are straight. And lift, flex, and lift. And going over to that diagonal line, really lengthening out there. Good. And come upright. Point the feet. This time, we're going to go into that flat back, swing the arms down, and press through the front of the hip there. And from here, let's flex the feet, still trying to keep that back straight on a diagonal line, and point the feet. Good. And flex, pushing through the heels, feeling the stretch in the hamstring. And point. Breathing. Hands reach behind. Reach them even farther back if you can, keeping that back straight, folding in the hips. and point. One more time. And flex, breathe, and point. Let's bring our hands forward, slide down, and see if our bodies can go over in a nice forward fold. Heads are loose. Keeping shoulders relaxed. You can shimmy them out a little bit, shimmy the hips a little bit. Our first forward hold, heads down, and then roll up through the spine. So you're rolling up through the spine. Let's take that again. Bring the arms up. Flex the feet. Let's reach out to that diagonal line. We're going to allow the hands to come down and then lower the body over. Heads drop. Hands could go on the floor if you want, if that works for you the best. And now let's shimmy the heels and the hips and then the shoulders just to loosen up in there, allowing the body to drape a little bit more. And then rolling up through the spine. Let's come up right. We're going to repeat that once more with pointed feet. Lift. We're going out to that diagonal line, feeling the fold in front of the hips. Drop the hands down, allow the body to drop. Heads are loose. Let's shake that head out a little bit. And then the shoulders, shimmy them out. And the hips. And you'll notice each time you do a little shimmy, you can maybe get a little lower to the floor, closer to your legs there. And then rolling up. We have one more with a flexed foot. Come up. Breathe. Lift. And over to that flat back. Good. Coming all the way down. Hands come down. Drop and hang. Once again, let's shimmy through those hips, making our feet go a little forward and back. And then shoulders. And then head. And really see if you can let the body lower to increase the stretch that you're feeling here. And then roll up through the spine. And let's shake the legs out. Hands go behind, and let's use a pointed foot first. We're going to push the hip forward, and center, and forward, and back to your neutral position. Keep going, and you're going to notice your upper body is twisting some. Good, and push. And let's take it with a flexed foot, push it out, and shift, and left out, and shift once more. Press out, reach, and shift. And out, and shift. Excellent. Shake those legs out. So we sort of started working with our hip area, and then a little bit in our lower back, and then in the hamstrings, but let's continue on. So from here, we're going to bring the legs up, and we're going to cross the right leg over and flex the foot here. And we're trying to keep our back straight. And we've done this before. Most of the time I've turned to the side so you can see this, but I want you to see it from this angle too, so that you can see that the foot is staying nice and flexed and the knee stays out. Taking a deep breath in, pushing the hands, keeping the back straight, we are going to get our chest closer to that bent leg. And you're going to find you get a stretch on the outside of the thigh of that front leg. And release. Deep breath in. Maybe move your hands a little bit more so you can get a little closer to the hips there with the hands as you press the chest forward. Good. And release. Deep breath in. And exhale, pressing forward. Really opening up the outside of that thigh into the glute area. And release. Deep breath in. Exhale and press. Good. Your foot might be shaking a little bit, mine is. Okay, and release. And let's let that leg come down. Just sit up tall for a moment, rock side to side, and notice how different that leg that we've just stretched feels from the other one. Let's take it to the other side. Legs come up, hands behind, taking the left leg up, flex it, making sure that the knee is out. And you may find that one leg is a little bit different in terms of how much stretch it has. You might immediately feel more of a stretch in the back of that thigh, side of the thigh into the glutes. So hands are behind, deep breath in, shoulders down. As we exhale, we press our chest towards that leg, really opening up the back of that thigh. Oh yeah, I'm really feeling this. Okay, and ease off, deep breath in, bringing the hands forward if you need to. Exhale and press, shoulders are down, really folding. It's almost like folding a box over here on that leg. And release, inhale, exhale, and fold. Good, last time. Deep breath in, exhale, and fold, coming forward. And again, your foot might be shaking a little bit because you're really getting into a deep stretch here. Good. And release, and bring the legs down. Okay, so once again, sitting up tall, let's rock side to side. And it feels like your legs have lengthened out there. Let's start working on our backs a bit. So I'm going to turn to the diagonal. Lower, divine flesh is out from underneath, backs are straight. Let's just curve that back to the back of the row here. Pushing through the hips and roll up. Good. And curve with that lower back, go all the way back as far as you can go. Then pushing through the hips and coming up right. And curve all the way back. And push through and lift. And once more, curve through the back. Good. And push through and lift up. Excellent. From here, we're going to roll back, put our hands underneath us into our elbows, straighten the leg. If you've got a slight curve, we're trying not to sag into the rib cage. We're trying to keep our shoulder blades squeezed together a bit, and you're really propping yourself up, but you've got a curve in your back. We're going to do a little bit of leg work, which will also involve the abdominals. So feet are pointed, legs are parallel. Front leg is going to come in. It's going to stretch up. Now this is the first full stretch we've done with the legs, so be kind to yourself. Flex and drop down, holding onto the abs as you take this. Again, lift in, bring it up, stretching up, flex, drop it down, and breathe. Two more, and lift, and stretch it up, and flex, draw it down. Last time, point, lift, bring it up, stretch it up all the way, flex, draw it down, and point. Keep your lower back nice and engaged, abdominals are engaged there. Back leg comes in, stretch it up. First time we stretch this leg, and flex, and down, control it, point, lift it up, and stretch it up. Good, flex it down. Make sure the opposite foot is still pointed, and down. Two more. Keeping the abs engaged. Lift. Make sure the shoulder blades are still squeezing. You're not sagging in the rib cage. All the way down. Good. Point and lift it up. Breathe. Stretch it up. Good. Flex. Drop it down. And release. From here, push all the way up. And let's roll to our side. We're going to do a similar kind of thing with the legs going to a rotated position. We're in a straight line here. We're still supporting ourselves from the elbow here, and our ribs are lifted. Legs are turned down. We've got the bottom knee going to the floor and top leg, knee going to the ceiling. So we're going to bring this up, bring into our shoulder area, extend, feel the stretch in the inside thigh. First time, so be kind. Flex, push it down, squeezing the legs together. Bottom leg is still pointed, and lift it in. Bring it into the shoulder area, stretch it, lengthen, 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 flex, and control it down. We have two more. And bring it in. Pointing the foot, lift it up, extend it out, breathe, flex, and bring it down in a controlled manner. Last time, point, keeping the ribs lifted, and bend it in. Stretch it up. Good. Flex. And control it as it comes down. Good. Point the foot. And let's swing around to the other side. So you've got the elbow supporting you, legs are turned out, you're in a straight line. Bottom leg is rotated, top leg is rotated to the ceiling, keeping this nice and lifted. Top leg comes in to your bending position, into your shoulder area. Extend first time to the side. And flex. And coming down, controlling that. Good. And point the foot. Bring it in. Lift knee up to the shoulder. Extend it. Lifting all the way up. Flex. Try to not let yourself sag in that rib cage. Come down. Two more. And breathe it in. And lift it. Extend it up. Way up. Good. Flex. And bring it down. And we have one more. Point the foot. Breathe it in. We're breathing. Extend it up. Lift legs. Drive it down. Control it. Good. And point. Good. Swing the legs to the side here and sitting up tall. I'm gonna come to the diagonal. We're gonna put our feet together in that first opening position that we did. Backs straight, divine flesh is out from underneath. And we're gonna work with that back. We're going to stretch directly back, similar to what we just did when our legs are straight out. So we're pushing that back out. Push through the hips and ripple up through the spine. And breathe out, holding onto my ankles. Lower back, push through, ripple, and head's the last thing that will really reflect what's happening in that spine. So the back is going out. Good, push through, and lift. And last time, push it out. Breathe. And push through, lift, and up. Now we're going to turn to the front. Opposite hand crosses on the ankle there. And we're going to do a similar thing, but we're going on that diagonal line that this front knee represents. So we're going to the back. And lower back curves. Now you're going to find that the back gets a little bit of a different kind of stretch. Push through the hips. It might feel a little awkward at first. Up. And curve through that lower back. On that diagonal line. Pushing through. And come up. Two more. And exhale as you allow that back to really go way out. Push through, ripple, and up. Last one. Pushing through, lower back, all the way, and then push through, and head ripples up. We're going to switch to the other side, so the opposite hand comes to the ankle, back starts straight. You can support yourself with your back hand, and then we're curving that back on that diagonal line, and push through and come up. First time might feel a little awkward, and then curving through that lower back, push, and push through, and lift up. And two more. Lower back is curving as far back as it can, maybe it's increased its motion, range of motion. Push through, rippling back up, shoulders are relaxed, and lower back curves. Good, all the way back. And push through and lift up. Excellent. Let's sit up and face front and take the straight back once more and see if something has changed. See if you can feel like you have a little more articulation. And pushing through, rippling up. If you have a little more range of motion. And push through and lift up. We have two more. Because we've done so much now, isolation, focusing on that lower back, you might feel like you have more range of motion here, more articulation. Last time, going back, and push through and come up. Good, let's go straight forward. So we're dropping the heads down and using the work that we've just done through the hips and the back, see how far forward you can get. So we're trying to allow the body to settle forward, and you're folding from the hips there, heads are down. Let's take 4 breaths. Deep breath in, exhale, see if you can inch your fingers a little bit farther forward, head stays down, legs are getting some work here, as well as the spine. Deep breath in, exhale, inch. As your fingers go forward, maybe your elbows can drop down towards the floor a little bit more. You might even feel like you're pulling with those hands there. Deep breath in. Exhale, reach the hands forward a little bit more. Elbows down, shoulders down. Feel the increased stretch that you're getting here. Good. Deep breath in. And exhale, inching those hands forward as you drop down and let everything go. Shake the heads out, shimmy the shoulders, maybe rock the hips and see if that gives you an added little more drop into the floor. Good. Let's walk our hands up by bringing our hands closer to us and then closing up the legs. I'm going to turn all the way around, and we're going to do a little bit of work on the hips, but in a floor way. So our hands are out to the side, about our lower rib cage
width. And you can bring the feet up a little bit closer to your derriere, but your spine is on the floor. We're going to drop the knees over to the right side. So both knees drop. That's going to mean that your left hip lifts up to the ceiling, and you're keeping your shoulders on the floor as much as you can. That may change as we go along. So from here, deep breath in. We're going to push the left hip up towards the diagonal there. So we're getting a stretch through the left hip, which causes your lower body to twist a bit. And ease off. Inhale. Exhale, push. Push that hip up to the ceiling, towards that diagonal line. And maybe you get a little bit more. You may find you get a little more twist in the lower part of the body. And release. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Press and push. And release. Last time. Deep breath in. Exhale. Press and push. So you're pushing that hip. You might have gotten quite a bit more of a twist there in your lower body, and ease off. This time we're going to take the right foot. The foot is flexed. We're leaning it against the outside of that knee area, dropping the thigh down. Deep breath in, and push the left hip forward as you drop and press down on the knee, outside the knee. So it increases the whole stretch through this sort of diagonal side part of your leg into your torso, into the hip area. Good. Release that leg, and then let's bring the legs up, back to your neutral position, and adjust your spine as you need to. And you may find that this whole side feels much lower. You're almost like very unbalanced. So just allow those legs to sort of settle into that strange unbalanced position. We'll take it to the other side. Legs are going over to the left. So now the right hip is up towards the ceiling here. And we're going to take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, push that right hip up to the ceiling, to that diagonal line. And you'll feel an opening through that whole side of the leg into the torso. And ease off. Deep breath in. Exhale, press and push. Good. We have 2 more. Ease off. Inhale. Exhale and press that right hip forward, trying to keep the shoulders as much as you can on the floor. There will be a slight difference from one shoulder blade to the other in terms of how much is touching the floor. And release. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Press that right hip forward. Really feeling the lower body make that twist. Ease off. Left foot comes up, foot is flexed. We're going to the outside of that knee. Deep breath in. Exhale. Press the right hip on that diagonal line and press the left foot down. So it's a deeper stretch through that whole leg, hip, into the torso area there. Good. Release the foot down, come back to a neutral position, and you'll find that you have now both legs and hips feeling like they're more equal. We're going to swing the knees into the chest, hug them in, folding at the elbows, knee into the elbows if you can. If not, we're bringing the knees into the hands into the knees there, and let's lift the legs up. We're going to open the legs out, flex them. Bend the knees so that you're keeping the feet like they're flat against the ceiling there, and letting the knees drop to the sides of your armpits. From here, hands come up and grab your heels. If that feels impossible for you, you can grab onto the legs. From here, deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to pull down and open out in the inside thigh. So again, we're getting more of a stretch in the inside thigh there. And let's point the feet and try and stretch the legs out from there. Now this might be pretty extreme for some of you, but just go to the place that works best for you. If you're here and your knees are bent, that's fine. We're just opening up that inside thigh as best we can. Flex the feet. We're going to come back up to that foot, going straight up to the ceiling, knees on the outside of either side of your torso. Deep breath in. Exhale, pushing with the hands no matter where they're being held on their leg, to press the knees out to the side, opening up the inside thighs there a bit more. Point the feet, breath in, exhale, and extend the legs out. So we're having a very wide position here. Really feeling that inside thigh stretch. Flex the feet, let's come back in. We've got the feet straight up and down. You might notice that your knees are pretty far out to the side. You've really opened up the inside thigh. 2 more sets. Deep breath in. Exhale, pull down. So you've got your knees opening up a little bit more to your torso sides. Point the feet, extend, reaching out, really lengthening through the inside thigh there. How far out can you make it go? And coming back in with a flex, we're going to go one more time, feet straight up and down. So if you've been holding onto your leg, you can be here. Deep breath in, pull down. So you've got the knees going more to the sides. Point the feet, extend, and reach. Good. Flex the feet. Let's come back up to our feet on the ceiling position, and then bring the knees back into the chest. We're going to rock the legs behind us, up towards our heads, hands underneath, and we're going to fold and bend and roll ourselves upright. Good. Let's go on to our hands and knees. Now we've done quite a bit of work in our spine, but let's just take one set of the cat and cows. So here we are, we've got our knees underneath our hips and our hands underneath our shoulders. Abdominals are engaged. Deep breath in. As you exhale, I really want you to focus on that lower back. Sometimes when we do cat and cows, we just sort of lift our chest up, but we want to really focus on that lower back. The hips are going to tilt, and your abs are very much engaged. And then pushing through the hips, we're going to go into our cow.
Now, when we were sitting and doing this, we had a little bit different kind of focus. So now, as we are on hands and knees, we can truly focus on that lower back, going into the cat. But it's the cow, where in this position, we can get a little bit more of an arch through that lower back. Head follows. 2 more. And going into our cat. Inhale. Exhale, pushing through. Shoulders are down. They don't hunch up towards your ears. Really feeling that lower back, getting some nice opening. And then one more time, going into your cat. And push through and going into your cow. Good. Come to a neutral position. Let's push back into a child's pose, reaching the arms forward, feeling the stretch on the side of our bodies. We're going to take the back hand and put it right in above our head there, and we're going to bring the elbow down to the floor as we bring the front elbow up. So we're getting a twisted position. You'll find you really get a stretch on the side that is towards the floor. And let's reverse that. Put that hand, replace it where the other hand was. Feel the twist. Push the elbow to the floor and reach this elbow up. So it's an increased stretch in the arm and under the armpit and the upper spine there on the side. And come down. Let's take it once more. Replace it. Elbow goes down, lift the elbow up and take a twist. Trying to twist from the low spine so you can feel that along the sides of the body. And let's take one more here. Hand replaces, elbow goes down, other elbow lifts up. Feel that twist. Big stretch there. And come down. Come back to your neutral position. You'll notice you'll be able to get a little further forward with your child's pose. And then let's slide the hands in as we roll up through the spine. Good. We're going to come into another hands and knees position and swing that front leg forward. And we're going to push through the hip that's in back, lining up the knee and the ankle there. So we feel a nice stretch through that hip. Curl the toe under, and then we're going to go into a full lunge. Keeping the hip pressing down and back to stretch out. Knee comes down, toe releases, and press the hip forward once again. Again, curl the toe under,
press and stretch. Knee down, toe and release. Pressing the hip forward. And 2 more. Toes, stretch, press, hip goes forward. Really trying to open up that whole hip flexor area. Knee down, toe releases. This is not passive, this isn't a rest. We're trying to still press forward here. And toes, press, and stretch into that lunge. Good. Release it, drop it, and stay. From here, let's come up so that we're pressing our hands against the top of the thigh there. And hip still is in the back, staying forward. And we're gonna press back with our torso as we keep the hip going forward. So you're getting a really long stretch in that back hip. Might be a bit of a balance issue as well. Might feel a stretch in the front of your throat too. Good, and come forward, hands come down. Let's push the back hip and slide that front leg in and go back into a child's pose there. You will feel a difference on the side that we've just stretched. It should feel like you can fold a little bit more because you've opened it up and it's now able to manipulate forward a bit more. So let's come back up and take it to the other side. Swing the leg that we were just working with forward, lining up the knee and the ankle, and press the hips forward. So now we've got the opposite hip going forward. Feel that stretch. Good. Let's curl the toe under and go into your lunge, still feeling the hip going forward. Really pressing. Good. Knee comes down, toe releases. You might find a difference between one hip and the other hip. And let's see if we can even them out so that they have a little more equilibrium in terms of how flexible they are. And curl the toe under and press. Hip goes forward. Really feeling that stretch. Good. And bend the knee, toe releases. Hip is forward. Breathing, curl the toe under, press. Heel goes out as the hip goes down. Weight is pressing here in that leg as well. Knee down, toe releases. Breathe, inhale. Curl the toe under, flex, stretch. Long line. Good. Knee down, toe releases. Let's do this one more time. Breath in. Roll the toe under. Exhale. Press. Stretching that hip down, heel back. Really opening up that hip. Excellent. Knee goes down, toe releases. And we're going to go back into that press with the chest. So again, hands go on the top of the thigh, shoulders are down, deep breath in. Pressing the hip forward, we're going to press with our hands to our upper body to the back. It makes it an even more intense stretch to the back hip. Balance issue. Maybe feeling a stretch in the front of your body, in front of the throat there. Good. And come forward. Pushing that hip back and allowing the other leg to come back. And let's go back into your child's pose and just notice how much you can fold on both sides. It should be much more equal at this point in time. Good. And then bring the hands in. Let's roll up through the spine. Excellent. Let's slide all the way down. And now that we've opened up in our hips so much, let's do a little more hamstring work. So from here, we've got our back straight. Let's curve through that lower back, which we've been doing quite a bit, and then go all the way down and slide the legs out. Good. Feet are pointed, legs parallel. Bringing that front knee into the chest. Hug it in. Holding onto the legs somehow. We're going into our traditional stretch here, reaching and lengthening. And then again, knee into the chest. Breathe. Extend, reach, and out. Keeping the bottom leg as an anchor. And come back in. Knee to the chest. Breathing. Exhale, stretch, and lengthen.
all the way up. Hopefully you're increasing the range of motion. And let's take one more breath in, knee to the chest, hug it in, bottom leg straight, lengthen, reach, and stretch. Staying in this position, let's flex out through the heel on the top leg, and then flex out with the heel on the bottom leg to increase the stretch. Feeling those heels work away from each other, so you really can feel an added stretch. Let's take one more thing, deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to lift our head up towards the knee, still pressing out through the heels to stretch, increase that stretch in the hamstring. Good. Drop the head down. Let's point our feet, bend the front leg into the chest, and then allow the leg to go all the way down. Release the legs. Let's rock side to side in the hips there. And then let's take a foot jump, so we're flexing the feet and allowing the whole body to reflect what the feet are doing there to integrate that long stretch we just did. Okay, and release. Let's go back to that parallel pointed feet position and bring the back leg in, hugging that knee into the chest. Feeling the length through that front hip away. Grabbing hold of the leg or the foot, whatever works for you, and going to your range of motion extension there. First time won't be as long and stretched as your last one will be, but encourage the hamstring muscles to release and increase the stretch. And again, bend knee in. Exhale, reaching out, stretch, lengthen, long spine. And on the floor as the leg extends. Good. And bend, inhale, both legs are pointed. Exhale, feel the bottom leg being the anchor, keeping some strength there. Going, increasing your range of motion on this back leg. We're going to have one more, so here we go. Inhale, holding, exhale, lengthening, opening up, trying to get a deeper stretch in the hamstring there. Good. We're going to flex that top foot. Already you might feel something going on. There's more of a stretch there. And then flex the bottom foot, deep breath in. Exhale, feel the heels reaching away from each other to open up even more. Keep it going. And let's add to it by taking a deep breath in. Exhale, lifting the head up to the knee, seeing if you can extend that flexibility in the top leg a little bit more. Good. And then drop the head down, point the feet, and let's hug that back knee into the chest. Good. And stretch it out. Excellent. We're going to take a plow and we're going to work into it, and you can decide when you want to stop and if you want to extend and see if you get a little bit more motion there through your spine. So front leg is going to bend to the side, foot to the floor, knee to the ceiling. Left leg or back leg bends to the side, foot to the floor, knee to the ceiling. And just allow your spine to stretch out. You do want to make sure you have some mat underneath your neck there to help support you. We're going to bring the knees into the chest and hold, and then extend the legs up, hands go down. And you're going to just push with the hands and go over to sort of a horizontal line with your legs. And you'll feel a stretch in your spine there, in your lower spine, as you allow the body to sort of sink into this. And if that's as far as you want to go, that's fine. If you'd like to continue on, you're going to reach the legs farther out, flex the feet out, and push with the hands. You could even bring your hands up to your back to support it and help you go into more of a flex position there. This is a very intense stretch for your spine, but if it feels comfortable and you feel like you want to do it, it's great for you. Or you can go into some modified version that works for you. From here, we're going to let our knees drop and our feet point. So we're getting a curved position here with our legs. And then breathing in and exhale, we're going to push out again to the straight leg position. You might find this works into your neck and upper back. Generally speaking, you'll feel the stretch in the area you most need it. Let's take that once more. Bend the knees down, toes release. And exhale and push out, increasing the stretch. Be kind to yourself. This is pretty intense. And again, bend, let the knees bend, feet relax, inhale, exhale, and push out. If you're finding you're having a little bit of a problem, make sure that you engage the abdominals and pull them in, because that might help give you more space to stretch. Good. From here, lowering the hips down, pointing the feet. If you just maintained yourself in your horizontal position here, like this, you may find that you're quite tired. So allow yourself to help your legs to roll down through that spine. Feet are pointed. Good. And bend the knees into the chest. Good stretch. Let's take that roll up once again. So extend the legs, hands go behind. Make the legs to help you come up to an upright position. Good. Now let's just take a nice sitting position here with one leg bent in front of the other, either one, and get that back nice and tall. Now that we've stretched it out, it should feel like it can lengthen up. And let's just take the focus into the extremities. We've sort of worked from the core all the way through, and let's work with the head. So head goes down, head goes up, head goes down, chin to the chest, and lift up. Chin goes down, chin goes straight up, and chin goes down, and chin goes straight up. Come to your neutral position. Let's let the chin go over to the right. This shoulder stays exactly where it is. And then going to the other side. Repeat. Backs are straight. You're sitting up tall. And then over to the left. Shoulders are still. Let's take two more and see if you can get that range of motion to extend a little bit. So you're getting more of a stretch to the side of that throat and neck area. And last time, reach over. Good. And stretch. And again, reaching over and stretch. Good. Come to the neutral position. We're going to take a high diagonal position. So your chin's going up to the right. And then it's going to reach down towards that opposite shoulder. And lifting up high. And down. So we have this diagonal line. Lift up high. And as you go down, notice what happens to the back of your neck. You may feel a stretch all the way into the shoulder on that side. Lift and drop it down. Come to neutral position. Let's reverse that. So we go high left, chin up, and dropping down towards the opposite shoulder. Really feeling it straight through there. And lift up high. We're breathing. Drop it down. And lifting up high. And drop it down. We have one more. And breathe up high. And drop it down. Really enjoying that stretch there. Come to a neutral position. Let's take a circle with our head. So we're dropping down. We're passing through that diagonal position to the side. High diagonal all the way up. And around to the other side. Passing through each one of those positions that we went into in isolation, and continuing that circle to really feel the neck and the throat and the shoulders kind of getting a loosening massage. Two more, circling around, lifted up, breathing around to the side and down. Last one, drop, circling and lifted up. And around and down. Let's go immediately into the opposite direction. Chin's down. Working over to your left. Passing through each one of those positions that we isolated. Head is down. You may find that you are hearing some crinkles or cracks as you make your head circle. And just try to breathe through it and allow those little areas that are making that noise to start to loosen up and ease out all the way around. Last one. Drop it, circling, lifting it up and around
and down. Good. Come to a neutral position. Let's take our shoulders. We're going to push our hips back, making sure our backs are nice and tall. So there's space here. And we're going to make the shoulders go forward, lift up to the back, and down to the front. And lift, and back, and down. Go forward, and lift, and back, and down. Last one. Forward, lift, back, and down. Reverse. Go back, and lift to the front, and down. Reach it back, and lift, and front, and down. Reach it to the back, and lift, and front, and down. Last time, and lift, and front, and down. Good. Let's bring the legs up, let them go to the front. Once again, hinge them out, get the divine flesh out, and let's just take some side stretches. Feet are pointed, right hand goes down. Reach, press the elbow down, keep the hip on the opposite side down, and reaching the top arm over. Come up, press with that hand. Let's keep the hand straight, and we're going to reach out into the diagonal, still keeping the head still. So we've got to twist through that spine. Come out to the side, elbow down. Hip stays down on the floor, reaching over to the side. Come up, stretch, and reach. Keeping this hand straight, and you're pushing to get a twist there. Good. 2 more. Reach over, breathe. How far over can you get? Keeping the hips on the floor. Up, and twist and reach. And last time. Up and over, lengthen, breathe. Good. And come up, twist, and reach. Good. Come to neutral position. Let's take it to the other side. Left hand goes out, elbow down, feet are still pointed. And we've got to reach over to the side. Keep both hips on the floor. This first one is not going to feel as great as the last one. And come up, straighten that arm, reach and twist, pressing with the hand on the floor. Good. And lift, bend, over. You can get a little farther over this time. Reach. Good. And come up, twist, and stretch. Good. 2 more. Breathe. Over. Feet are pointed. Lengthen. Get that hip down. You can notice that you're getting a little farther over there. Breathe up. Twist and stretch. Excellent. Last one. Up. Over and reach. Good. And come up. Press and stretch. Excellent. Good. Come to the neutral position. Let's keep our hands on our thighs, backs are straight, and just push the rib cage out to the side. And side. And reach. And out. And reach. And to the side. Last set. Out. And out. Come to neutral position. Let's press our chest forward, rib cage, and back. So this is different than our lower back. And forward. And back. And forward, good, and back, and forward, and back. Come to neutral position. Let's flex our feet this time. So we keep our feet active, and we're going to go off to the diagonal, front side, to the right there, and then go back on that back diagonal, and forward. And remember, it's the rib cage that's really working here. 2 more. Front on that diagonal, and back. Good. And once more. Front and going back. Come to your neutral position. Let's take the other side. Way out to the left. Feel that rib cage moving out of that diagonal line. And go back. Using your feet to help press and get a little more leverage. Forward and back. Good. And once more. Forward and back. On that diagonal line. And forward and back. Good. Let's come out right. This time let's relax those feet and go into a folded knee position with the other leg in front than you had before. Again, divine flesh. And we're going to take circles with that rib cage, holding our hands on our knees. So we're going to the front through that diagonal position, around to the side, to the back, all the way back. Good. And remember again, this is more about the rib cage. Upper back as we go around, then the lower back. Obviously, the lower back will reflect some of this, but we're trying to put our focus right in the rib cage, opening up any stuck areas. As you open up the rib cage, it means that you're going to have more room to let the lungs expand as you breathe. And we all need to breathe more deeply, coming around. Let's go right away into the opposite direction. So ribs front, going over to the left, around to the back. Good. Sometimes it feels like you can get some additional opening as we move into the opposite direction. So allow that to happen all the way around. We have 2 more. And front, circling around, good. And to the back. And around to the side, 1 more. And going to the front, way front, and side, and back, good. And side, excellent. Come to your neutral position. Let's close the legs up and fold them. And we're going to push ourselves back towards the back of our mat. And we're just going to stretch through the Achilles a little bit. We're in our hands and knees position, but we've got our toes underneath. And we're going to push back. So you're going to use your hands to push back. Let the knees lift up and really stretch out through those Achilles. And rock forward. Let's make our hands come forward a little bit more. Keeping our heels, our toes underneath, we're going to just push the hips forward. So we've got a little push still with our feet there, and our hips are coming forward, and then we're going to reverse that. So holding on to the abs, walk the hands back, shift and press through the heels. Good, coming forward. So it's a little bit different way to stretch the feet and also get a little action through our hips there. Forward, and then come back. There's our 3rd time, pressing and pushing the heels back. Good. Stretching out those Achilles. Let that head hang. And then come forward, press, pushing forward with those hips. Good. Maybe arch your backs up a little bit, your upper body here. And let's take that 1 more time, letting the head be nice and loose. So as part of the stretch through the Achilles, we're also getting a stretch in the spine, dropping that head down, pressing out through the heels. And then come forward, walking the hands forward, keeping the heels pressed. We're pushing the hips forward, press out through the toes, and arch through the upper body, shoulders are down. Good. And then come back 1 more time. This time we're going to go into a full stretch through the Achilles. So we're going to press down as far as we can. And then when we've gotten to as far as we can go, we're going to push our hips up, head stay down, and fold up the hips and come to a full stretch. Now I'm off the mat, but actually that means that my heels are a little bit lower, and that can increase the stretch in my hamstrings. Heads down, shake those heads out. Let's take a bend again, breathing in, come all the way to your squat there, exhale and press and stretch. Heads go down. 2 more, and bend, inhale. Exhale, press and stretch. Heads go down, loose. And bend, inhale. And exhale and press. Heads stay down. Let's add a little more stretch here by folding the hands, the fingers will, or you'll be wrapping around your elbows there, making weight in the folded arms, and push your head through like it's a picture frame, and really let your weight be forward. So you're having your weight more on the balls of your feet, not on your heels, which increases that stretch. And let's start to swing side to side with our upper body. So we're swinging forward and back, and out to the front of the room and back of the room. 2 more. Press and breathe, swing, and front room and back of the room. Good. Drop the heads down. Really settle into this position, increasing and enjoying the stretch that you're feeling here. Good. Drop the hands down. Let's bend the knees and come into a sitting position. And we'll just do a little work on our full arm. So if this is not comfortable, you can sit somewhere else, but make sure your back is straight. Reach the arms up. Now we're going to twist the body and press out through the arms. Good. Pressing that back arm way out there, flexing out through the hands, opening up that shoulder and that back arm. Come forward with the arms lift, flex the hands, pressing out. So you feel the back arm going out, front arm forward, and you got a press through that shoulder. So you're really twisting and reaching out through that back arm. And let's take that once more in each direction. Lift, open, twist the upper torso. Hips obviously are going to stay right where they are. Feel that arm going back. If you want to push it back a little bit more, you can open through that shoulder. And then let's take that once more. Deep breath in. Open and twist. Pressing that back arm out. Hands are flexed. Really reaching out, opening through that shoulder, front shoulder area. Good. And come down. Good. All right, folks. Let's take one more set of stretches with our legs in a Y position. So we are sitting nice and tall here, and our feet are pointed, our backs are straight. We've done a lot of work through here, so you should feel like this is a little bit easier for you to get into. And we're going to curve the top of our head down, rolling forward, walk the hands out, and feeling the inside thighs get that stretch as you walk out, heads go down, and try and flatten and fold from the hips without letting those legs rotate in. You're trying to maintain a turned out position in the legs. Heads are down. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale, allowing everything to fold and drop. And take another deep breath in. Exhale, let's flex out through the heels, which may give you a bit more of a stretch and allow your body to drop to the floor a bit more. Breathe in, exhale, point the feet and inch out a little bit more. And last time, deep breath in. Exhale, press out through the heels, reach the fingers a little bit farther forward to expand this stretch. And then when you're ready, we're going to walk the hands up, keep the feet flexed. We're going to roll up through the spine, come to an upright position, and lengthen. Good. Let's bring the legs together and shake them out. And let's take that little push through that we did at the beginning of class. We're going to have the flat feet flex this time and push through. So you feel the hip going forward, other hip goes back a bit, and then shift as the torso twists. And again, extend it a little bit more. Notice the ease that you may feel this time through with this stretch because of all the work that we've done. And third time, press through. Maybe you want to shift your hands so you can twist even more through that spine as the heel presses forward and that hip goes forward. Shift and change, press. And last time, push out, press, and stretch. Good. And last time, push, stretch, and reach. Good. All right, come upright. Let's sit up tall once again. Thank you for joining me. Let's bring our arms out, lift up, bring the hands to your heart, chakra, and give thanks to your body for getting you through this class. And I hope it encourages you to try more flexibility during the day and to notice how much your body will respond to what you ask it to do. Thank you very much.